Welcome back to The Missing Workflow. I'm Sheri Yates with BridgeRM. Last episode, we talked about the gap between your servicing system data and your actual workflows. Today, I want to show you what a purpose-built workflow solution looks like in practice. I'm going to walk you through First Legal Watch, and a tool we built for first legal deadline management, as an example of what's possible when you close that gap. First legal deadlines are one of the most expensive workflow failures in mortgage servicing. FHA requires servicers to initiate first legal action within specific timeframes. Miss that deadline by even 1 day and you're facing a curtailment, an average of $8,000 per miss. Now, here's why this is such a perfect example of the workflow gap. Your servicing system has all the data: the delinquency dates, the loss mitigation status, the attorney referral dates, the state codes. But it doesn't manage the workflow. It doesn't tell your team which loans are approaching their first legal deadline. It doesn't recalculate timelines when a borrower enters loss mitigation or files bankruptcy. It doesn't account for the fact that every state has different rules, judicial versus non-judicial, different pre-foreclosure requirements, different extension provisions. So what happens? Your team builds spreadsheets. They manually track deadlines. They try to remember which states require what, and inevitably, things get missed. Not because they're not working hard, because the process is too complex and too dynamic for manual management. Let me put numbers on it. A portfolio of 50,000 loans with a 4% delinquency rate means 2,000 loans in foreclosure. A 5% missed deadline rate means 100 curtailments. At $8,000 each, that's $800,000 in losses from missed dates. A client came to us with exactly this problem. They knew the losses were preventable, but they didn't have the tools to prevent them. So we built one. First Legal Watch is a workflow solution built specifically for first legal deadline management. Here's what it does. First, it takes your loan data, either through file upload or API, and processes it against a comprehensive rules engine. Every state's foreclosure requirements are coded in. Judicial states, non-judicial states, hybrid states, it knows the difference. Pre-foreclosure notice requirements, mandatory mediation programs, timing rules, it's all in there. Second, it continuously monitors and recalculates deadlines. This is critical because first legal deadlines aren't static. A borrower enters loss mitigation, the timeline may pause, an extension is granted, new deadline. Bankruptcy filed, everything shifts. First, Legal Watch recalculates automatically in real time across your entire portfolio. Third, it delivers work cues to your team. Every morning, your staff knows exactly what needs attention. Loans are prioritized by urgency. Upcoming tasks are surfaced before they become past due emergencies. This is the workflow your servicing system doesn't provide. Fourth, it gives management real oversight. Performance dashboards show how your team is doing against deadlines. Trending reports show whether things are improving or declining. Historical records provide a full audit trail. This isn't hoping things are going well, it's knowing. And fifth, this is one of my favorites. It identifies errors in your system data. If the dates feeding the timeline calculations look wrong, First Legal Watch flags them. It catches data problems before they become $8,000 mistakes. What does this look like in practice? The team goes from reactive to proactive. Instead of chasing deadlines, they're managing them. Instead of finding out about misses after the fact, they're preventing them. Management has visibility they never had before. They can see across the entire portfolio which loans are on track, which ones need attention, and which ones have issues. They can spot trends. Is there a particular state where we're consistently cutting it close? Is there a team member who needs additional training? That level of insight simply isn't possible with spreadsheet-based tracking, and the financial impact is immediate. First, Legal Watch costs $5,000 a month, $60,000 a year. If it prevents just 8 curtailments, it's paid for itself. Everything after that is pure savings. For a shop that was missing 100 deadlines a year, even cutting that rate in half saves $400,000. But here's what I really want you to take away from this episode. First Legal Watch isn't just a first legal deadline tool. It's an example of what a purpose-built workflow solution can do. Wherever you have this same pattern, data in the system, but workflow managed outside of it, we can build something like this. The same approach works for lost drafts, for default reporting, for TRS management, for any area where your team is struggling to manage complex processes manually. The ingredients are the same. Take the data from your servicing system, apply the rules and logic that govern the process, automate the monitoring and calculations, deliver work queues to staff and dashboards to management, and provide the reporting and oversight that lets you manage proactively instead of reactively. If First Legal Watch resonates with you, if you're thinking, yes, that's exactly what I need for First Legal, great, let's talk. But also think about what else in your shop could benefit from this same approach, because we can build it. Visit bridgerm.com to schedule a demo of First Legal Watch or to start a conversation about your workflow challenges. I'm Sheri Yates with BridgeRM. Thanks for listening to The Missing Workflow.